Hi, this is Jonathan Rosenhead, Jerusalem psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post for Parshas Korach is titled Getting Yourself Out of a Pit. Because Korach and his followers were swallowed alive by the ground, the Gemara in Sanhedrin details that when they were on the way down to Gehenna, they did teshuvah, and there was a special place, a refuge where they were able to stop, and there they remained singing. And every 30 days, the Gemara says, they come back up to the place where they were swallowed in the ground, and the voices can be heard saying, Moshe v'sorasei emes. And this tells us that Korach and his followers went down into the pit, and they never came out. That's where they stay, that's where they remain. Now I'd like to explore this from a psychological point of view. How does a person get themselves out of a pit? Because often the idea of a pit and being stuck is a metaphor for depression. When you're down and you're feeling lonely and there's nobody that can help you and you've got yourself down into a deep dark pit, the question is, how do you get yourself out of that situation? So first of all is support. It's very lonely when you're in a pit by yourself. So it's important to try to find as many sources of support that you can have, that you can get. Family, friends, colleagues, if necessary, therapy as well. And these can all help a person to feel less lonely, and they can help them to get out of this pit. And it's important to note that one particular technique of support is empathy, that people that are there to help you empathize. And empathy is when a person puts themselves into your situation. They experience with you the difficulties that you are suffering from. So it's basically a person coming down into the pit with you, sitting down with you, helping you, alleviating the pain and the depression, and helping you to see a way out. Next is seeing a pit as a cognitive conceptualization. In CBT, it can help a person to identify the triggers that puts them into a pit, that puts them down, what sets them off. And also to identify negative thought processes that reinforce this pit, strengthen it, and gives a person the sense that they can't escape. And changing these thought processes into more positive ways of thinking that can reframe the situation, and they can look at the situation and realize that they aren't actually in a pit at all. And also, I'd like to say there's a concept of learned helplessness, where a person sets their goals too high and they try again, they fail, and because they constantly fail, they give up. They learn to be helpless and they stop trying. So if you set your goals too high and the pit becomes higher and higher and higher, and you go lower and lower, you dig yourself lower and lower and lower down into this pit, you stop trying and you just stay at the bottom of this pit. So it's important to set realistic goals. And then finally, there's this idea of the pit as the concept of child development, that you have to regress in order to progress. That when you go down into this pit, it's natural in life to have difficulties and struggles and to feel down. And you're in this pit, but it can be an opportunity to reinforce and strengthen the foundations that you have, to put the foundations in the ground in order that you can build up stronger and grow and get higher and higher. Get out of this pit and never go down again, because the foundations are strong. Have a great Shabbos, Chodesh Tov, and keep well.